Okay, so it's kind of warm up quiz, very it's not at all complex, it's very simple. So just want to know what ETL tools you worked on. I mean, I spoke to you, all of you. Maybe probably we'll start with Karthik. So Karthik, what ETL tools you worked so far?
Work on Azure.
Okay, okay. Okay, so Sudhir and Bharat, I mean, Hari, you worked on any other tools other than Snowflake? I know, I mean, you working with Snowflake copy command and all.
Not,
Yeah,
I mean, not completely involved in ETL tool, Raju, but I worked on ODI and
so
other tool like Clarabridge. That is
Hmm.
for voice recognition and collecting and inserting it as a data. Uh,
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
so I'm having an idea on SSIS.
Oh, okay, okay,
Raji garu, I did not got an opportunity to work on it.
okay. No worries. I just some. So, any idea what is ELT? Means what actually definition or what is the full form of ELT?
Abstract load and transformation.
Right. So, why actually we do transformations or our data, right? What is the purpose of doing transformations? Any thoughts on that?
So in different, for example, Excel is having if you load the data in Excel, it will store the data in the format of data format should be in envarchar like that. So when we load the data into a SQL means at that time we need to do some transformations, and also
Hmm.
if we need to do some conditional columns
Hmm.
like that. So these type of transformations we need to apply.
All right. Okay. So I mean, it is just to start to engage. I mean, next slide. Probably. I mean, it is again short answers. So, what ETL tools in the market, like Talent, Informatica, Glue, SSAS. These are some examples. And ELT you already answered. It is a kind of a different process like ETL, extract, where we load, then we do transformation. So that is what the ELT key concept. So why should we do transformations? Basically, data transformations means the purpose is basically cleansing, deduplication, or filtering, aggregation, joins. So these are some. So that is the main purpose of data transformations. So what is DBT? Next few days we are going to learn what is DBT and all. So as I said, I mean, this training I'm really not making like a so much theory. I just planned it as a more of hands-on. Okay, so this is what the training plan, where only just we'll have only two theory classes, where today I'll just give you a little idea what is actually DBT, what type of features are there, and day two, most probably I will see if we can do tomorrow. Okay, DBT features. So day two will continue that. Then onwards, we'll have 4 hands-on sessions where we'll have labs. So I will show you how to create DBT models and all. So you can execute all DBT end to end, right? One use case, I will talk through one use case. So you'll get complete idea what actually that DBT, how to execute and all. So you will get fair idea. So that's what I kind of planned, very less theory. We'll just discuss theory as part of these labs, that 4 labs, whatever we are seeing, right? Lab 1, lab 2, lab 3, and lab 4. So in lab 1, we'll do all setups and all, data warehouse setups, DBT integration and all. We'll just pick up Snowflake environment, how to launch DBT, how to initialize DBT project and all. So that is what we are going to learn in lab 1. Lab 2, We'll just talk through one use case, end-to-end use case. We'll create some DBT models. So I will give you what is that use case overview and what is DBT file explorer and all. And we'll run some models. So you will get fair idea what is actually models and all. Okay. So then if we run the model, the output will be there in Snowflake. So we will just validate that output, how that in Snowflake and all. Then lab 3, we'll just it's kind of little advanced, means we'll just see final MOT models and how to test that output in Snowflake. And another important concept in DBT is the reference function. So this is reference function. We are going to test it in lab 3 and we are going to learn in lab 3. And lab 4, that would be the last hands-on session. So we'll just talk through tests and documentation. So this is what the plan. I think any questions or anything, you feel free to stop me. Any questions, anyone? Are we good?
Oh, no question.
That's what I always plan. Theory of sessions may be very limited. I will always prefer to have hands-on labs. So it would be easy for us to grasp that concepts in labs. Okay. Okay, so probably because before getting into DBT, right, I just want to just touch upon what actually in some challenges, right? Because see, if data pipeline is straightforward, like very simple, probably we don't understand. But if data pipeline is complex, what I mean to complex, that there will be so many sources, so many flows. Data pipelines are coming from so many sources. Okay, and every 30 minutes probably we need to schedule that pipelines to get the data. Okay, so there are some customers, they will have complex environment where they have a lot of data pipelines. So some of the challenges, it's doesn't mean that everyone will have that challenges. Some may not have that challenge. It depends on tool and it depends on that environment. Okay, so one of the topmost problem is data quality and data trust. Quality is probably not good because of so many reasons. Sometimes we get null values, sometimes we get duplicate data and all. So that is the one of the key factor where some data pipelines we face this data quality as a challenge. So data trust, unless data quality is good, we cannot trust the data. So because we serve the data to different consumers, right? Kind of for dashboards and probably other users and all. They will not really trust our data if quality is not good. So this is the biggest challenge for some of the data pipelines. And version control, of course, we have different tools for version control. But again, we need to depend on other tools. Sometimes whatever the TTL tools we are using, it may not have that version control capability. So we may need to depend on other tools. Okay, and the other third important concept is test. We are getting, because we kind of set up your pipelines, we are getting data from multiple sources, but how about testing? What type of testing we are doing to ensure that data quality is good, right? Everything is good. So data observability. So are we doing any tests, or are we dependent on any other third-party tools to do the test? So this is another important aspect when we working in data related projects. Then fourth one is reusability. Are we also are we good with our data strategy? Are we really using kind of a reusability, right? So then documentation. Documentation means how are we doing documentation to find out what is our source data model, what is our target, what are the columns, what are the data types and all. So this is a documentation. So why are we discussing these challenges now? Because DBT will address some of these challenges. So that is the reason kind of I touched upon what are the different challenges in data pipelines. So any thoughts means like maybe in current project or in your previous project experience, any thoughts? Do you want to add any points here? Data quality or probably tests or reusability documentation? Any? Okay, fine. So probably we'll just touch upon DBT's as a definition. You know, it is a data build tool. Basically, it is a transformation tool in ELT process, not ETL. It is in ELT process. It is not BI tool because so many people actually confuse. Few customers thought that this is a some of the customers, they always thought that DBT is a kind of a BI tool, but it's not BI tool. It focuses on only on transformation under in ELT, extract, transform, load, right? This will do only transform part, not any other thing. So it will not extract, it will not load, it will do only transformation. So it will not extract the data, it will not load the data, it's only transform the data. Why transformations are critical? Because we discussed, right? Because transformations are sometimes very critical because the data quality is very, very important in data pipelines. Okay, so the advantage of DBT or the strength of DBT, it will transform data where it lives. Means we need not really transfer the data outside of data warehouse. So it just integrate with your data warehouse. It will transfer data within data warehouse. That is the strength of DBT. Okay, so are you clear? Any doubts?
No, Raju.
Yeah, clear.
You just stop me,
Yes,
okay?
Raju, it's
Don't
clear.
hesitate to if you are not clear, just stop me. No problem. Huh? I will help you to just explain.
Okay.
So the other strength of DBT is like.
So regarding third point, please continue. Regarding not BI tool, why it is not a BI tool?
What I mean to BI tool is in the sense dashboard, right? We in usually the BI tool term always we use it as a dashboard tool, visualization. So it is not visualization tool. It is only just transformation tool.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe I mean
that means
that
we are not able to create the reports on this tool. That is
no. What I mean to say that it's only see it will do transformations. It will create you final data mart. It will then your dashboard BI is your consumer. What I mean to say that it is not a Tableau, right? There is a difference. So DBT is a kind of a transformation. So you are giving data to Tableau. Tableau is your consumer.
okay.
Okay. So the basically it will adapt best practices from kind of a software engineering process that is kind of a key. I mean, we will not touch each and everything what is software engineering, but it's kind of version control test, right? As part of this tool itself will provide some test. You will understand what is the test about and continuous deployment. So these are the few best practices this tool adopt from software engineering. So that is the reason I just discussed. I mean, what are the some challenges we usually face with complex data pipelines? So DBT's address at least most of these challenges. You will understand once you start doing labs and you will learn theory. Okay, so Okay, so again, DBT comes in two flavors. One is a DBT core and DBT cloud. DBT core is kind of a open source, means it is a free, it's CLI based version. It is basically package written in Python. Okay, that is what DBT. But to use DBT, it's more of SQL based because we need to write SQLs and Jinja template language, but it's more of SQL, I would say. So DBT Cloud, it is kind of a licensed version. You will get some features like web-based UI. Then you can schedule jobs, CI/CD documentation. These are all additional features you would get in DBT Cloud, which is kind of a licensed version, where you will not get those features in open source. So that is the difference. So just to give you some idea, these many customers are using DBT Cloud, 3,500 plus customers currently using DBT Cloud. Not exact, it's kind of a just to understand in market how big, right? How many customers actually using. So around 30,000 plus organization using DBT in production. What it means, DBT Core plus Cloud, because Core is a kind of a open source and free tool, right? So some customers where they don't want all that features, but they need some good transformations, they pick up DBT Core and they use DBT. So how about integration with data platforms? Because it needs to get integrated with data warehouse systems, then only it can work. It has an integration with almost each and every data warehouse in the market, some like Snowflake, Databricks, Redshift, almost it has integration. Okay, so okay, so just the basic difference. This is the kind of the presentation we have given to one customer. So where we kind of created what is the difference between free version, enterprise version. There are three different versions, but as of now, we don't want to really learn each and everything, just to give some idea, because some licensing version supports some features, but not everything. Suppose if it is a developer version, it will not have unlimited daily runs. So that's how the difference for free and other enterprise team licensing versions. Okay, so any questions up to here?
No.
No.
Okay, I'm going faster. It's okay, right? The pace.
It's okay.
Okay, so as I said, probably just to, again, it gives a comparison. What is actually the basic difference between 1 minute, it's not good. Yeah, traditional ETL tools and DBT. It's a kind of just to understand, means why do we need the DBT, right? So traditional ETL tools, like, because these are third-party tools, mostly require license to use. DBT also we need license if it is enterprise licensing version with, but probably pricing little affordable because not so much cost. And some at the same time we also have open source, which is kind of completely free. If we don't have any complex use cases and all, probably sometimes open source may be sufficient for our use cases. Okay. ETL tools, probably sometimes we need to write code before transformation. So we should be very confident in our code and all, PySpark, Spark, probably SQL. DBT also we need to do coding, but it's very kind of little because tool will have some out of box features. So we'll just use that feature. So it is kind of a minimal coding or probably no code before transformations. So that is the one other difference. Then transformations in ETL tools usually should be done before data warehousing, because extract, transform, load. Before load itself, the transformation should be done. Whereas in DBT, transformations occurs within data warehousing. So that is another basic difference. As I said before, probably we should be skilled on Python, Scala, SQL. It's not necessarily, I mean, we should know everything, but it depends on what environment we're just working on. But DBT case, it's more of SQL. We also use templating language Jinja, but really we need not do so much coding by using Jinja, because tool will give you some kind of a that snippets, so we can use that. So, but we should be definitely kind of strong in SQL, because whatever the code we write in SQL, then it's kind of a whatever the tools give the transformation rules, we need to use that, but it's more of data warehouse specific transformation rules. So means we just understand what is actually a downstream systems need. That's how we do that transformation rules. It's more of specific to data warehouse, but this DBT can be used for any data warehouse. What I mean to say that, for example, if we just purchase kind of a Informatica, right? That's how it is. But whereas this tool can be kind of across in all data warehouse. So I'm not sure how much you know about this documentation and all, but we'll just learn that. In traditional ETL tools, these tools also will support, but probably the features would be limited. Okay, one is documentation, test, snapshot. Snapshot is kind of SCD type 2 kind of in DBT, but it has support lineage graphs, documentation, test, snapshots. So maybe if you are not really, you never worked on these features, right? Lineage graphs and all. In our hands-on session, probably you will understand what is these graphs and all. So some tools in the market, ETL tools, Glue, Talent, Informatica, just to give examples. DBT, as we already discussed, it's true versions, core and cloud. Not sure. For me, I'm facing problem. Next slide always. Okay. So just I want to touch upon what is actually DBT architecture. We already discussed, right? Because DBT sits in center where it's only just do transformation. So whatever the sources are there, we get data from multiple sources. That source data, already we pull the data in form of raw data, means the data is already there in data warehouse. Till this point, your DBT don't have any role to play. So it is as it is, raw data, right? Then data, your DBT sits on your data warehouse layer, and it's do only transformations. Then BI tools or data science, these are the consumers. So coming to DBT architecture, it do snapshot. I will explain you what is that snapshot. It is a move of SCD type 2, or then it do transformations. It has the powerful feature called test, and also it works deployment, and also it generate auto documentation. So these are all kind of key features of DBT. So it also has version control, alerts, logging. So this is a kind of high level summary of what DBT support, but we are going to discuss each and everything in detail. Okay, so as I said, DBT is an orchestration layer that sits on top of warehouse. It do transformations and all. So, but it sits this orchestration layer. That's what the DBT role. DBT does not store or compute any of data in this DBT memory. Means it will not do compute, it will not store data. Okay, so then you will surprise then how that compute will be done, because the DBT is kind of a push down model. What it means that DBT will not do anything, compute or store. It will only just write the code for transformations that completely the compute will be pushed down to data warehouse. Means data warehouse will do compute and storage for DBT. So that is what push down model for DBT, what we mean to say then. Okay, so the other feature we should aware that data is not moving in or out of the network of your data warehousing system. The data sits in data warehousing only, it will not go anywhere. What it means to us, because it's a strong security, because whatever the data warehouse security promise, we get that. When we get the problem, if we are moving the data from data warehouse, then we need to take care security. But in this case, DBT case, data is not moving anywhere. It will just be there in within data warehouse. So because data is there in within data warehouse, it's kind of help to faster data processing, because we are not moving data to anywhere. So this is a high level architecture. Any questions? Anything confused?
No.
No, Raj.
Are you able to at least visualize something what is actually DBT?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Raju, but I have one question. Like, if we don't have any memory concept here, how will be the performance of DBT? I mean, once we are done with the transformations, it will be sitting. I mean, the schema will be
It's
there in the data warehouse, right?
it means your code will be pushed down to your data warehouse. Performance is very top notch. Because whatever that performance snowflake, right? On top of that, it do so much optimization in coding and all. Transformation, suppose if you need to write so much 1,000 lines of code in some data warehousing, whereas it's because of reusability, because of reference function in DBT, you will not write that level of code. You will do a lot of reusability. That's where your code complexity will get reduced. So your performance, in fact, it has a better performance.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
see, usually what we mean to say that compute and storage means usually there are two ways. Suppose your tool do that compute for you, right? It write transformation, it do compute, means compute in the sense processing. It also stores the data. It needs to, if it has to store the data, it has to transfer the data from data warehouse. So, but it will not do anything. So that's what it means, push down model means. Okay, so what is the power of DBT? These are the 6 kind of a very powerful features of DBT. One is the code reusability, because whatever that SQL task, models and all, you will understand once we write the execute that use case, right? You will understand each and every term. Now probably it would be little tough. That's what I told. I mean, I will not do much theory, so many theory classes. It's only just 2. Okay. So, but once you start doing the lab, you will be able to understand what is the reusability and all. Then version control, anyway, you know, it's kind of a direct integration with Git. So you will have all those features in DBT itself. Then this is another very beautiful feature, means very powerful feature, testing and quality, because at least I have seen it test everything, means nulls and all. While doing coding itself, you will be able to set up these tests. So whereas in other scenario, you need to write the separate code for testing and quality. So that it is very powerful features provided by DBT. Then documentation. This is also another challenge I've seen in many projects where you need to write separated documentation, Excel and all. Okay, this is my columns, or this is my data type and all. Or sometimes some tools will give, but it depends actually what type of environment we are just working on. So this is another powerful features of DBT. Auto documentation. Documentation will be generated. This also will do lab. Okay, so this also will understand what is the documentation. Modularity is nothing but if we are a very if we have complex. Just give me a second now. Yes, please. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So modularity means, I mean, whatever it is a complex data pipeline or complex flow, we will break down into number of pieces, number of different models like staging model, MOT model and all, and sources. So we can use that source in multiple places. We can use that staging model in multiple places. So that's what modularity will help in quick processing and quick development time. Again, collaboration, because multiple developers can work on the same DBT code. We parallelly we can do the changes. Data engineers, even data analysts, scientists also, they will have access to this documentation, these tests and all. So that's what it would be kind of a good collaboration between different teams. So any questions, anything? So as I said, it's more of primarily SQL. We do Jinja, but that's very less. So we should be kind
I'm
of
having a
strong in.
question. What is the Jinja, Raj garu?
It is a template language. This again will see in our hands-on session. Okay, so I never worked on Jinja for, but it's kind of a basic Jinja is needed here. We'll be able to understand that one. But to answer your question, it is a kind of a template language. Maybe some teams probably use that Jinja language in different projects. Okay, so it's kind of functions, right? Stored procedures and all, you know, right? Repeated and all. By combination of Jinja and SQL, DBT makes things very simple. It is a combination of Jinja and SQL.
So I have gone through the one of the code in that one. They have mentioned some REF reference. That is nothing but a Jinja REF.
Probably yes, it may be Jinja based on Jinja. But the reference is nothing but you are just reusing functionality. But because that is not a SQL, that's a by using Jinja probably. I'm also not sure, maybe, but that's definitely not SQL, so should be a Jinja.
Okay.
I'm also really never worked on Jinja.
No issues, no issues. Yeah, I understood.
Okay, so it is combination of actually SQL and Jinja power. So that's what this kind of a tool has that power. Okay. Then test the advantage, like we can test every model prior to production. In fact, while doing development itself, you can do tests. So this is another DBT feature what we discussed now. So because of test, quality testing is easy happening while dataset is being built in production. So in some complex projects, why I'm just mentioning this one, this is very critical. Okay, so data quality is the highest priority. They don't even cannot bear even single duplicate. They cannot even bear single null values and all. Some projects, some clients, some use cases, quality is the topmost priority. Okay, so in some projects probably it's maybe okay, but in some environment, some projects, quality is very priority. As said, modularity again will just manage complexity because we use reference function and all. It integrates with Git. We already discussed, so we can just deployment would be easy. Okay, so team collaboration, we spoke. It basically it uses kind of a different data model. So and web-based ID, it speeds our development cycle, means in kind of we need not really spend so much time in development. That is what the advantage DBT says. Then faster time to value, most trustworthy data, because if quality is good, your consumers can trust your data. And the secure data, because we already spoke, we are not moving data in and out from data warehouse. The data sits within data warehouse only. So it's a highly security, whatever that security promised by your data warehouse, whether it can be Snowflake or Redshift, right? So whatever that security given, we are not breaking anything security there. Cost efficient because it operates in cloud. It is maybe, I mean, depends on use case, but it may not be so much cost. The other very useful feature, snapshot DBT feature. It is kind of SCD type 2. In some tools, we need to kind of code separately for SCD type 2, right? That tool may not give us SCD thing, but whereas by using snapshot of DBT features, it is just one click, so we can just code very easily within short time. The logic we need to use, kind of what is that updated time, or probably any column values status or anything, just to give some examples to understand. Though it is a more of SQL, it also supports Python model. If it is really a Python use cases are there, but I mean, to be honest, I really don't have much experience on these Python models, but DBT says they support Python models also wherever that use cases are there. Probably, but if some use cases are there, then we need to check actually how that things are going to work. Okay, so yep, these things we'll discuss maybe in second session, because I know I don't want to put so much theory in one day. Okay, so it will not be kind of will not feel interest of. So next session we are just going to check, I mean, what actually probably will just go key features, little details, what is model, what is metallation and all. This is how your DBT looks. So this is how version control. This is the place where we write code and all. We'll see models and all, snapshots and all. Okay, so where if you click on linears, you will be able to see linears and all. Yeah, this is how your linears, like what are that source tables, what are that models. Model, see, just remember one thing, whatever we call in model, just assume like it's a table or view. Okay, so but DBT, it's a model, it's kind of a select statement. It will create a view or table in Snowflake or any data warehouse. So model, always think it's a view or table. Then yep, so we'll see each and every all top features in hands-on session. So maybe in second session, probably I need one more session to discuss some theory thing. Then we'll jump on to rest of the 4 hands-on labs. Right? Anything you want to add?
So when we writing the code on the DBT, we are creating the model right now. So for every model, we need to write in a SQL. So in SQL, whether we need to start with the CT expression only, or directly we can write the that SQL language.
See, it will be same thing. Similarly, whatever you are writing SQL, you will write same thing. The only difference is that after some point CTs, right, common table expressions. In that way, you will just make as a kind of a source code. Okay, that you will use every time into some other model. You need to write the same piece of code in other models. It will be same code you will write, but you will do lot of use that reference function. You will just break down into small pieces. So the same code can be used in multiple places.
Okay.